Hi, Will. Sorry it took forever. I usually try to do this on the spot, but I think we recognize the problem areas that I've paused at because this is the problem area and you have to find the root cause and then you have to correct the middle and usually the finish will take care of itself. On the left is this whole relationship between the elbow. Okay, so I have this really cool, hopefully it'll work. So that's 62 degrees, and let's go a little further. So here you're at, let's see what this is, 73 degrees. So there's not as much of a correction in the front angle, but the side angle has got to get that up and out more. So let's just think about that. Now the question is, why is that happening? And a big part of it, as we discussed, is this base. See how your knees jut forward and they jut in front of your feet? Once you correct that, what will happen is the other mistake over here is this buckling of the knee. And what it does is eventually just you can't jump well out of that position. So you have to clean that up, clear it up, and at least have a little symmetry. It's just not a good move at all to have that. But you'll see players do have it. You want to minimize it. I think that's the better way of putting it. So on the left, your point of release is from your forehead. You see that push from your forehead. And the reason why is you have a V instead of the L. So in a better release point would be, as you know, is the L is going to open up here. And that's going to get you the arc. So there's this really good arc that you're going to get once you get that release point up. And over here, you're going to see the release point is from your forehead. Okay, so as you get stronger, men can take care of this. A lot of women are a lower point of release, but you want to release it at the top. The third thing, and we're going to go over in the notes, you're shooting from your toes are still connected to the ground. So you're shooting on the way up. And there's also a lean. So that's a balance issue. So let's look again on the right. I wrote up all the notes. So there's the buckle, there's the knee parallel to the elbow. So as soon as you get that knee straight, what'll happen is that elbow will come with it. There's a push from the way up and then just moving around. Now the other issue that I think slipped in the notes, but you and I were on it. See that movement to the side, you constantly move right or left instead of right at the ball. And there's a little New York City travel, so you can catch it ready. Okay, there's both knees buckling. And then let's see where you land. There's a little bit of movement. And let's watch the head. Okay, so the head is still, but you move to the left. So you want to stay as centered as possible. I call it the North Pole. You really don't want to tip north, south, east, or west. You just sit right at the top of your shot. Let's look here. So there's sort of a down and then an up and right there. Let's see where you land. You didn't really jump that high, so that's probably why you didn't lean as much. So that's a good enough sample for us to see, okay, this is where the shot is now. A little push with the toes still on the ground, but I think I can see a pretty good improvement in your strength from the last time I saw you. So I think once we get this straightened out, you're going to actually be able to leverage your strength more. Now let's look over here and let me clear everything. Okay, so here is what's really helpful about the wrist. So let's go back to the wrist. And so that's a closed wrist when it should be opening up. So it should be opening, it doesn't fully open, and it should be parallel to the ground sooner and a little looser and longer. So what we want to do is get to this point a lot stronger and more consistently. So let's look again. Left, right, you want to jump stop that. So you sort of you go down with the closed wrist, and then it's not open. It's up, but it's not open. And I think once you get that mobility in your wrist, the ball will fall more into an L. So if you get that, the wrist isn't moving, and what you're doing is you're bringing your arm back. So that's in the notes. So once you open up that wrist, it's going to be up and out more, and you're going to have a nicer release point at the top. And then let's hold this correction about shooting at the top of your jump, because if you think too much about it, it ends up messing up your whole shot. It's just going to happen more naturally once you fix the kinks in the shot. From the catch, the base, the frame, so this is your frame, this is the top of your frame, which is the release, and then we'll work on the finish. But your finish you want to hold, because then you can see where the mistakes are. So give this a look a few times, and I like slowing it down. You made a ton of these shots. I just think you can be a lot more athletic, and you can be mechanically more lined up to look even better and knock more down. So I'll send you the notes, and we will do another video Probably lesson 3 or 4. We don't want to get too crazy about it, but definitely by lesson 5 you should be looking pretty good. There's a big jump forward.